Fancy Nancy and the Late, Late, Late Night, based on the creation of Jane O'Connor and Robin Preiss Glusser. I adore visiting my neighbor, Mrs. Devine. Here we are having tea on her veranda. That's a fancy word for porch. When she was a child, Mrs. Devine lived in Hollywood. She used to see lots of movie stars, only Mrs. Devine calls them celebrities. Isn't that fancy? She has a special scrapbook of photographs. Some are autographed. That means celebrities signed them. Your scrapbook is extremely fascinating, I say. Fascinating is even more interesting than interesting. Ooh la la, Mrs. Devine says I can borrow her scrapbook if I bring it back tomorrow. Merci, 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 I say. At home, I pretend that I am a Hollywood celebrity. I dress up in my most glamorous attire. That's fancy for clothes. I give my autograph to all of my fans. I pose for photographs. I am late for a glamorous Hollywood party. I tell my fans, au revoir. You say it like this, au revoir. That's French for goodbye. On my door, I put up a sign that says, do not disturb, because celebrities need their privacy. I want to look through Mrs. Devine's scrapbook, but I hear my dad calling us all to dinner. After dinner, I learn all my spelling words. I am practically an expert at spelling. Before I know it, Mom says, Nancy, time for bed. Oh no, I haven't had a second to look at the scrapbook. I beg my mom to let me stay up later, but my mom says no. It's a school night. Tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow you can stay up later. I put on my nightie and get in bed. My parents kiss me goodnight. Sleep tight, they say. But guess what? I am not going to sleep. Under the covers, I have concealed, that's fancy for hidden, a flashlight and the scrapbook. At recess, I am too exhausted to jump rope with Bree and my friends. I missed 3 of the words on the spelling test. My brain is exhausted too. After school, I return Mrs. Devine's scrapbook. She asks if I would like to stay for dinner and watch a movie called National Velvet. It is on TV tonight. It is about a girl and a horse. I loved it when I was your age, she says. It sounds fascinating, but I can hardly keep my eyes open. I go home and start weeping, which is fancy for crying. When my dad asks what's wrong, I confess. I was naughty. I stayed up late last night and I had a terrible and exhausting day. My dad doesn't scold me. He says, now you understand why you need a good night's sleep. That night, I go to bed even earlier than my sister. On Saturday, I wake up feeling glorious again. Glorious is fancy for wonderful. And guess what? Mrs. Devine taped the movie for me. I can see it tonight. Dad was right. Even fancy girls need their beauty rest.